Alright, what's going on, guys? This is Restless Corpse from VirtualBromance, and I'm here with Franky from Industrial Strength Gaming. And this is day 5 of 365 games, and I'm featuring Evoland today, which actually Franky's the one that told me about. And it's a pretty sweet game. It goes through the evolution of RPGs, which is pretty cool. In this particular clip, it actually kind of makes fun of Final Fantasy VII, which I'm a big fan of anything that makes fun of Final Fantasy VII, and you'll see that a little bit later. But speaking of Final Fantasy, we're going to talk about how excited we are for the new Final Fantasy XIV, Realm Reborn.
Super excited.
Yeah, we both jumped on the game. As a matter of fact, Franky beta tested 1.0, right?
Yes, sir.
And I remember him telling me about how amazing it was. And then when the game came out, he said that, you said that it was different in the beta.
It wasn't. It was the exact same thing from beta. I was expecting it to be different. The beta for 1.0 was a really bare bones kind of game. I had the combat system, which at the time, the original combat system I liked a little bit better than the Realm Reborn system because it was more strategic with your group and stuff, with how it worked. But it was the exact same thing. There was absolutely zero change from the 2 beta phases I was in to the release, just bug fixes. So, I mean, I tested the game for 3 months before the release, and they still didn't add chocobos, stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember being all upset because it took forever to get in.
Oh, yeah. Well, you could teleport like you can now, but it's still...
Yeah, but it cost points. Those points didn't come back for real hours or something, remember?
Yeah, that's pretty dumb. At least you can pay for money to teleport now.
Right. But in any case, so they took the servers off. We just found out today that they took the servers offline a long time ago.
Yeah, like November 2011 or something like that.
Yeah, something 11 or 12, something like that. I don't remember. But I guess all that was in preparation for the new update, Realm Reborn, which both of us have been beta testing, and we're super excited for it because it's actually really good.
Man, I was blown away by just the story alone. I'm a sucker for Final Fantasy story.
Right. Actually, we've been talking about that a lot today, which is why this video is so late.
It's true.
Yeah, but we're super excited about the story. For me, even before I got into the story stuff, and I was just running around doing the quests and things, the game is a completely different game with the same areas, and that's about it. Which I think is really cool. I know that one of our friends, Jared, we got him to play 1.0 with us, and he was a giant WoW fanatic. So it's understandable that he wasn't really into it, but he had so many huge gripes that because I really wanted the game to take off, I kind of was blind to until a couple weeks into playing the game, and I started to really understand that the game is crap.
Yeah, it's true. I ended up playing the game for 3 or 4 months, I think. I don't know.
I literally I bought a new PC for it. I bought a laptop to try and play it the first time, and it wasn't good enough. So then I bought a PC, and it was, pretty awesome enough to play the game. And I played it for 3 weeks and quit. I was so disappointed. But now I can't wait for the game to come out. I'm kind of jonesing for it already, and they do the beta tests on the weekends, and Sunday is the first day that they take the servers down. I'm already jonesing for it.
I know, right? And they take the servers down at such a weird time. They take them down at 2 a.m. Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So it's get home from work and I can't even play,
Yeah, I played it right up to when they I got the message saying that you should probably log off now. And that's when I stopped my story this morning. But I mean, it's ridiculous how completely different the game is and how it went from being so fucking horrible to so awesome. We were both Final Fantasy XI guys. How long did you play Final Fantasy XI?
Oh, I don't know, on and off. A few years here and there, a few years more later. Often.
You started right at the North American launch, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Day one of released, it was pretty great.
And I started like the third day after it came out for the console. And how long between the PC release was that, or like how long after?
I think it was like 2 or 3 months, something like that.
Yeah. So I played from the console release, and I played for like 4.5 or 5 years, something like that. And every MMO I've tried to play after that is kind of shitty. I guess Final Fantasy XI kind of ruined everything for me.
Well, as we both agree, every MMO that I've played since then has failed to develop that sense of community that Final Fantasy XI was so greatly known for.
Right, which is really important. And you know, I had this conversation with Jared as well, and he claims that WoW has a great community, and I played WoW for a while with him, and I just don't see it. Right here is kind of funny. Like,
no,
they make fun of like how Eris died. Her name is even Karis.
Oh no, that's great.
But we were talking about the community, and the thing about Final Fantasy XI is everything, you were forced to party from a really like early level. I was going to say young age, but a really early level.
10
around
or so?
10, yeah. You couldn't kill anything, almost anything after level 10 by yourself. So you had to party. And what that did was that forced you to like meet people that are on your server, and you know, work closely with at least 5 other people on your server. And you know, in your level range, you continue to party with all these people, and you'll meet so many people, and you'll be in a party where you'll be like, oh, I remember that guy. Yeah, he was tanking for us last week. He was a pretty good tank. Or I remember that guy, that puller. He sucked. He kept pulling charges and he kept dying. And you build like a name and like notoriety or you know, infamy or whatever, to where everybody knows who you are, and everybody's like, you know, if you're a good player, people know. If you're a shitty player, then people don't want to party with you, and that's what I think MMOs need. And MMOs like WoW, where they have the cross-server dungeon finder and stuff like that. And we were talking about this last week. When you do something like that, these people are from a different server. They're probably never going to see you again. There's really no reason for them to be nice, or you know, polite, or even care about the job that they do. They just want to get through the dungeon and then see you again. So I don't like that.
Yeah, you know, me either. But I'm hoping, knowing Square Enix and how they make their games, or their MMOs at least, I'm hoping that the dungeons are more than just, you know, tank and spank everything like Warcraft or Terra. And I mean, those modern MMO dungeon mechanics are pretty simple and dumbed down. So I'm hoping that Final Fantasy XIV does have the cross-server dungeon finder if you want to use it. I'm just hoping the dungeons are intelligent enough so you actually have to try, and that forces you to get better at playing the game. Like much like Neverwinter Nights, the later dungeons, you know, around 40 or so, they get really tough, and they make you learn how to play your character.
Yeah, dude, this fight right here, because I know you can see it. I literally spent maybe 2 or 3 minutes just on this fight, healing myself over and over because it's ridiculous. Because the chick that died, Karis, was the healer, and it's ridiculous. But anyway, so yeah, they have the dungeon finder type thing in Final Fantasy XIV, and we kind of talked about how I was kind of worried about it. Like you said, though, if the dungeons are more than just running through it and killing everything, you know, straightforward, it'll be pretty cool. Because people will be forced to know the dungeons. And I know WoW kind of has these weird boss fights where there's a gimmick to all of them, so it's not just straight up, you know, fighting. So hopefully Final Fantasy will do that. Now, some of the boss fights that we've had in the story are actually pretty fun. The one that we were talking about earlier today was actually pretty tough, but I went through it again on my Marauder and I had no problem with it.
Which one was that?
The one with the mage that summons the gargoyle. It's like the level 10 story mission.
The level 10 mission I did was in my area. It was the mage summoned a giant golem to fight.
That's the level 5 one.
Is it? No, the level 5 one was a gargoyle that spawned more gargoyles.
Oh, so okay, yours must have been completely different because I did 2 different cities and they were kind of the same. Yours
Yeah,
was completely different.
I was in Ulda for that.
Right, I did Gridania and Lemsa, and they were both like the story behind it was different. But the 2 fights were exactly the same.
Really? Yeah, the I don't remember. You know, like you have to go find a little Lalafell princess girl, and you get there and you find the crystal, and you're like, oh, what's this crystal? And then some mysterious handsome stranger shows up, and you talk to the dude for a little bit, and then this gargoyle-y beast shows up, and like you and him fight this gargoyle thing, and the gargoyle spawns ads that you have to try to kite around and not die. And then the next part of the story, you do a bunch of running around. It takes you to, I'm pretty sure it's the level 10 area where this dude bought a mine and he wanted to get rich, and some crap happens, and like it's kind of a long story if you actually had to explain everything. But basically, he goes to the mine, and it turns he got sold out by the mercenaries he hired, and they tried killing him. And this fucking sorcerer shows up and summons this giant like rock golem dude and starts killing everyone, and you have to kill the thing, and you save the day, and everyone's happy. Is it so it's definitely not anything like that then?
No,
either other state.
The Limsa part is kind of like that, but I guess maybe they change up because in Limsa that's the earlier level 1. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of the level 15 one.
Oh, see, there you go. Yeah, I didn't have time to get to level 15 to try it.
Those fights are actually pretty tough. Like you do a little fight with a bunch of people on your team, and then immediately after the fight, you go into a solo fight and fight the dude, and he summons a gargoyle. In any case, the fact that we're even talking about this, it means that we're like, we're interested in it, and it's actually pretty cool. Whereas I really couldn't tell you any fights or dungeons in any other MMO that I remember enough to talk about it later. But yeah, so we're super excited about this game coming out. It's going to come out, I think, August 27th, they said. You can like pre-order it and get early access, or if you fall under the legacy thing, you get early access as well.
Yeah, you have to complete the entire 1.2 version of the game legacy story and get to level 50 or whatever the heck, and then you'll get early access, but you can't do that anymore. Oh, almost time.
But yeah, so anyway, we're running out of time here. This was day 5, Evoland of the 365 Games Challenge thing, and I'll probably see you guys tomorrow.